Welcome everyone to the 7th day of Sahaja meditation. Um, Hope it's been a good week for you all. So let us start off today with a little bit of a recap for those of you um, who for whom it's the first day today. Um, so meditation has a very different connotations when you look at it from um, these different sources which are talking about meditation today. But when you think of it, or when you look at it from the perspective of Sahaja Yoga, meditation basically means that your energy unites you with your true being. So let us take a look at the slide that we are seeing in front of us. We have these 7 different energy centers or chakras that are our bodies. And we also have this energy, which we refer to as the Kundalini, as the name goes in the Indian cultures. So this energy is the one which we are born with, and it resides at the bottom of our spine in this triangular bone. Now, what happens when we start meditating, or once this energy gets awakened, is it starts moving along this central energy channel towards the top of our heads. And as it does so, what it does is it starts working upon your chakras, it starts working upon your energy channels. It starts manifesting the qualities of those channels and those chakras within you. Just to give an example, let's take a look at the chakra in the yellow color and now, which has the label of creativity inside of it. So that chakra on the physical level is responsible for governing the functioning of your kidneys, your pancreas, organs in that general level, in that general area. On a subtler level, that chakra also gives you the qualities of attention, focus, creativity. And any imbalances on that chakra may manifest themselves in the form of problems that we face. For example, problems with your attention, like ADD, ADHD, attention deficiency disorders that you might be hearing about in today's life, which is kind of full of stress. Those problems come due to imbalances on this chakra. Also, like physical problems such as diabetes, which is basically triggered in our system due to inadequate amount of insulin in your system. Those sort of problems are also due to imbalances on that particular chakra. So the point being, that whatever problems we face within us, be it on a mental level or an emotional level, are coming due to some imbalances on our energy channel, on our energy chakras, or our energy channels. So once again, coming to our Kundalini, when she gets awakened and she starts ascending, what she does is, the first thing she does to us is she brings us into this state of relaxation, so to speak, in the sense that she rids us of all the problems, physical problems, mental problems, emotional problems that we might be facing. Because you got to realize, you won't be worried about or you won't be aspiring towards your spiritual growth if your physical or your emotional and your mental well-being are not at ease. So the first thing she does is like she takes care of those things which are a priority. So as you can see, as a byproduct of doing this, your mental, physical, and emotional well-being are first of all taken care of, and then you move on to like that that true seeking or that spiritual growth that some of us might be aspiring towards. So we have within us also these energy channels. We have the one on the left, the one in the center, and one on the right. Now, the left energy channel is the channel of your desire, so to speak. At the very core, it represents your desire to survive. Now, you might think about like, if you think about like what makes us live, like what's that sustaining power that thrives within us, what gives us life. Life itself, your left side, your left energy channel is itself life personified. It's the side of our emotions. It's the side which gives us gives us our desires. Any desire we have is coming from our left side. Now, this channel rises from the bottom of our spine, rises up, crosses over on the sixth center, and forms this balloon of conditionings. Now, what are conditionings? To sum it up in a word, like there's a really nice example that comes to my mind. It's culture. But come to think of it, like regardless of like where you come from, let's say you were born in a particular country, but at birth you're taken from that place and like you know transported to like a different place and made to grow up in a different environment. You would probably look the same growing up. I mean, you pretty much look the same as you are today, but you would have a very different personality. You would have like a very different, set of languages that you speak, very different set of etiquettes you might have come to follow. So what basically has changed in this case is your upbringing, your your etiquettes, the way you have been taught to do things in a certain way. Those things have changed. Now, when you also think about like how you speak, like you have a thought and your mind processes it subconsciously into a coherent sentence without you even having to think like a second about it. Like it just happens. So those all those functionalities are given to us by our conditionings. All our past is stored up in this blue balloon of our conditionings, also known as our superego. And those of you who are like psychology majors, you might have probably come across this term superego. Now, all the memories of our past are also stored up in this superego. All our fears, the things we don't have any control over, all those things come from our conditionings or our superego. Now, when this channel goes out of balance, we basically start feeling low. We start feeling this lack of desire within us. We start feeling scared. We start feeling depressed. What has happened is this left channel has gone out of balance. And that's the source of our desires. And as such, that's the first thing that gets hit. Like if that channel goes out of balance, that's the first that's the first setback that we face, is that we start feeling low and we start feeling blue. Again, you don't have to worry, because the Kundalini brings that channel, it heals that channel and brings us back and brings it back into balance. Now, you take a look at the right channel. The right channel is the one which is the manifestation of your desires. Now, if you just keep desiring, I mean, if you don't have any action done upon it, it's not, nothing's going to work out. So that's the channel. Our right side is the channel which actually brings forth or carries out the activity that fulfills our desires. Um, so it again starts from our bottom, from the bottom of our spine, goes up, crosses over on the sixth center, and forms this balloon of ego. Now, ego is, as you all might know, ego is pretty. It's a term which is very, it's pretty famous or infamous, if I can put it that way, because it's that part of us which makes us assert ourselves. It's that part of us which makes you feel that you are in control. It is I who's doing something. It's also that part which makes us feel aggressive. It's that part of you which tries to dominate other people. It's that part of you which feels angry, feels insulted. You see, like that's the part of you which the things I'm saying to you right now are strictly in terms of like the negative aspects of your ego. Ego is required for us to. It's necessary. It's a necessary entity of our being. But like the problems are like the ones that the terms, the things that I just described are the problems of your ego. When this channel goes out of balance, you become very aggressive, very dominating, very, very running dry on emotions. You're disconnected with your emotional side, and as such, you don't really realize how much harm you're doing to other people, including yourself, because you don't realize how you're harming yourself. So again, these two channels are the ones which gives basically they give us our ego and conditionings. Now these two ego and conditionings, these two institutions put together make up your mind, and the thoughts of your future come from your ego, whereas the thoughts of your past come from your left side or your conditionings or your superego. And what ends up happening is like if these two institutions, these two balloons are like heavily imbalanced, they grow out of proportion and they put this pressure. They form these high pressure, stressful entities in your head, in your mind, and they kind of like keep bombarding you with thoughts day in and out, and you just feel that somehow if you could just shut it out for a second, and find like a moment of peace. So that's basically what this Kundalini does. As she ascends as she keeps ascending, she crosses the sixth center, the Agya chakra, and at that point, she brings these balloons to their normal state, from their overblown proportions to their normal state, and as such, your ego, your conditionings, they cool down, and thereby what ends up happening is like your thoughts as a result of that also go down, and you are brought into that state of peace. You're brought into that state of relaxation. Again, I'm emphasizing on the word on the term that the energy brings you into a state of peace. It's not a make-believe thing where you do something to yourself or you make believe that you are you're peaceful, or you think that you're controlling your mind with your mind, because that's just a paradox. It's the energy which transforms you and takes you into that state. So the one important key, or the key aspect, the one key takeaway over here is that it is this energy which is doing everything for you. We don't have to worry about doing anything. It's, having said that, there's also a flip side to it, in the sense that it is our responsibility to be consistent with the meditation, in the sense that you need to be disciplined enough to sit down and give this energy the time to work things out within you. So in a way, it's really simple, but then again, It's your desire which is going to make it. It is your desire which is going to make you grow in the end. So let us take a quick look at these chakras, the qualities of each of them. So we start off with our root chakra, which is our Muladhara chakra, which is basically the foundation of our spiritual being. Now, our Muladharas, the prime quality of Muladhara is innocence. If you think about it, when you're born in this world, like we don't have any knowledge, we don't have any, we don't basically have nothing. We are at the mercy of our parents who are taking care of us. But um, but what we have with us is our innocence, which makes everyone um, treasure it. So this quality of innocence is the one which does so many things. It's like it's the foundation of all the qualities. Not so like if you think of any quality at the very base of any quality, be it your intelligence, your creativity, your dynamism, um, your art, whatever qualities you might have, like at the root of like of all of those is this innocence. And that is very essential in the sense that if your innocence is, or if you're not respecting your innocence, um, your desires are directly affected by it. You're not very focused and you're shaky, and like it will be very hard to like get your desires to fruition. Whereas in a person who has this innocence or this chakra um, uh, enlightened and has a very strong Muladhara, they find it very easy to uh, to 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 manifest their desires, because their left side, which actually is this, which stems from Muladhara, it directly has an impact. The Muladhara directly has an impact on your left energy channel. So innocence is the root, and with meditation, um, this chakra becomes stronger, and you start feeling more grounded. You start feeling more connected with nature. You start feeling more connected with yourself, with your emotional self, with your desires, and in general, you like I said, it's the root of all the qualities, and it's the root for it's basically the foundation. That's why it's called the Muladhara, which basically translates to the roots uh, on which the tree can sustain itself. Moving on, we have creativity, and we have the second chakra, which is called the Swadhisthana chakra. This chakra um, is the center of your creativity, your attention, attention. This chakra gives you the qualities of, to begin with, pure knowledge. This chakra starts off giving you with the pure knowledge, with the pure desire. Now you might think like, desires, so to speak, like, you might want to accumulate any sort of knowledge, and that desire, changes from person to person. So you can say like, that kind of desire is pretty subjective. But if you think of it, like, is there like an object of desire? Is there a desire that all of us should be aspiring towards? And if there is such a desire, it is the one that we wish to connect to our true beings, to our true self. And that basically translates to when we put our right hand to our left side of our hip, and when we say that, please give me the pure desire, please give me the pure knowledge, we are basically asking our mother energy, our Kundalini, to give us that pure knowledge. So that is, so like I said, you might have different desires, but we ask for that one desire that we must have, we should have to 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 get our self-realization. So that is what we ask at the beginning, to give us that pure desire. So once we get that pure desire, then uh, you know now we have that pure desire. So now we can grow. So don't have to even worry about like not having that desire in the first place. We can also get that desire by asking for it. Moving on to the next chakra, we have the Nabi chakra, which is um, the quality of that chakra uh, is basically, there are many qualities, but the core quality of that chakra is satisfaction. Evolution. So think of it. What have we done to evolve to this stage of human beings? Like we started off as living beings in the form of amoebas, and then some of them, then we transformed into fish at some point. And when I say we, I mean the life form as it began on Earth. And then some of those fishes, brought onto the land, so on and so forth, to the point we are now, as we have come to the state of human beings. If you look at this journey, we haven't really done anything. It's some force which has brought about this change in us, and that is what this chakra stands for. Like that's that part of us which represents the evolution. So once this chakra gets awakened within us, we evolve to the next level. Now, what that next level is, you might call it the spiritual growth, or you might want to call it uniting ourselves with the higher power, or whatever it is. But it's the next step in our process towards our ascent. Along with that, along with the enlightenment of that chakra, comes satisfaction and peace. Because, like you might be a millionaire, but you might still have that greed within yourself. But you might not, you might be like a not as wealthy a person, but you might be completely satisfied with what you have. So that satisfaction, if you look at it, is a quality. It's like a very strong quality that most people, overlook. So that is the Nadi chakra. Now you move on to your heart, the heart chakra. Your heart is the place wherein resides your spirit, and that's the aspect of us which we are trying to realize. That's the true self of us within us that we are trying to achieve or get to know. And that's what this energy does. It unites us with that aspect of us, that true being, that true entity, that manifestation of the divine, that manifestation of the higher power within us. So it's your heart. Your heart is responsible for giving you the courage. It's responsible for giving you love, compassion, confidence. So those are the qualities of your heart. Moving on to the next chakra, your collectivity, your Vishuddhi chakra. This chakra is the one which gives you the ability to be connected, to feel connected with everyone. At the core, this chakra is responsible for giving you the ability to communicate, language. Even like you might, it doesn't really have to be any verbal language, any sort of a verbal language. Even your glances can communicate so much, your body language can communicate so much. So it's the way you feel connected to people as a whole. And when you feel connected, all of us put together become this collective. The entire globe becomes a collective, and the earth, people residing on this earth becomes collective. So that's the quality of this chakra. Um, when you when this kundalini manifests itself in this chakra, your ability to communicate gets enhanced. Um, you you will also start developing more profound ways to, like, feel empathy. I mean, feel what other people are feeling. That empathy, it comes to you. Um, you might so basically you might have seen people who have like a more profound sense of empathy. So it's basically the qualities of this chakra, if you look at it in a way. So moving on to the next center, which is your agya. Your agya is the center through which your kundalini uh, passes, and when it does so, it fizzles out those balloons of conditioning and superego, as we just talked about. So in a way, it's really important because that's the once the energy crosses that point, you start you first start feeling the peace and um, that relaxation. So the quality of that chakra is forgiveness. Um, if you don't forgive, you are basically harming yourself. That's just the baseline. Because if you if you keep harboring those feelings of anger, those feelings of hate towards someone, towards the people that have harmed you in some way, the other person is remaining unaffected. Like, he or she doesn't really get impacted in any way. It's just you who are put down by yourself, and you land up in that never-ending spiral of just going down. So you have to realize that these thoughts um, um, are just negative, and all they do is just bring you down. So it's hard to forgive. I'm not saying it's easy, but you have this energy which is giving you the power to forgive everyone around you. So you ask for the power to forgive everyone, and then you will get that power to forgive. And then here we are today on the last chakra, the Sahasrara, the chakra of the thousand petals, which is basically the integration of all these chakras that we just talked about. So once the Kundalini comes to that point, um, you become integrated with yourself, and you land up in this place where um, you feel like you're in total control of yourself. Because if you think of it, all of our problems, or like most of our problems, they come from the fact that um, we feel that um, we are either agitated, or we are either out of balance, or we are angry with someone, or we are just angry with ourselves. But at that point, when your sahasraras get open, you're connected to that energy which sustains you, and you just feel connected with everything. And it's that feeling when that feeling of security that comes within you, and that makes you at peace with everything. So let us move on to the next segment of this session, where we'll have Ramesh ji walk us through the meditation.
Thank you, Prithvi. Yeah, as we have already going through the journey in the last 7 days, we learned about how the Kundalini energy, once awakened, enlightens and awakens various qualities within each of us. And now that various qualities have been awakened with that knowledge, let's now get into a quick meditation. Can we go to the meditation slide, please? Yeah, let's close our eyes and put both our hands on Mother Earth or towards Mother Earth. And slowly take our attention to the first energy center at the bottom of our spine. This energy center gives us the joy, makes us innocent, just like a child. Let's feel connected and get grounded. We can bring our hands back into the lap and slowly move our attention to the second energy center. To the third energy center, which is at the level of our navel on the spinal cord. We can even put our right hand on our stomach. We can slowly raise our attention to the fourth energy center at the level of our heart. We can raise our attention and we can also put our right hand on our throat, where the fifth energy center is located. Move our attention and hand to the sixth energy center at the level of our forehead. We can say, I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. Finally, with the fingers stretched at the center of the palm, we press firmly the top of the head, gently massage the scalp. We can request our motherly energy. Oh, Mother, please establish my self realization and strengthening. Here, our inner energy gets connected with the all pervading energy. We can bring our right hand back into the lap. Try to maintain the attention on top of the head. We can slowly open our eyes. Aribaya, can we stop the music? The state that we received, the reached when our energy, Kundalini energy, touched the seventh energy center. That's the real union. That's the yoga. That's the union of our inner energy with the all pervading energy. And when this integration happens, we are into that state. And the one that we very briefly were able to experience is what uh, we try to practice every day, and what we want to expand, and so we can have our meditations deeper. We can enjoy this connection as we grow and ascend in our spiritual journey. Can we go to the next slide, please? We thank you very much for joining for the last 7 days. We hope that you have really enjoyed these sessions, and we hope that you have enjoyed the meditations that we have gone through. But uh, as you can already see, what we have been going through in the last 7 days, it's only we've seen the tip of the iceberg. There is so much more to learn about. There is so much more for all of us to grow further into this meditation. And uh, we all realize that, and we uh, have multiple resources that, uh, and we also have the follow-up meditations every Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. You can see the link. You can go to that link. I believe that's the same link that we used to log in today. So those are the resources that we have. Please feel free to join the WhatsApp group that was created, and we will add you to other uh, groups so you get notifications about these meditations. And yeah, maybe we can stop the YouTube at this time.